Well, welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, everybody. I'm Slash McCloud, and today we have a little bit of debris to clean up. Well, we have a mission that I picked up to position a satellite in an equatorial orbit of the Moon. Pretty easy, frankly, and now that we've got our maneuver planner unlocked, you'll see how easy it actually is. So there's the Moon. 11,400 kilometers away at an average altitude. Actually, I think it's probably exact on this game. Of course, in the real life, the Moon is at an average distance. It's not always the same. But there's our orbit that it wants us at. There's our little Mun probe that we had earlier. That's about 90 kilometers from the surface. This one wants us about 330 to 390. We'll call that an average of 345. I think 360, something like that. And that orbit is equatorial, so we don't need to worry about an inclination. However, we have to get there first. So I did go ahead and build a satellite. I'll show it to you real quick. Build a device. Science satellites are generally heavier than relays, like always. This one has a Science Junior on it. The only things that were required actually for this was the Science Junior. I did, however, go ahead and put a thermometer, communitron, a high gain antenna, barometer, and a mystery goo. All this is going to be powered by one little baby ant fuel engine, and there's a fuel tank and a battery in there. We got some solar panels on the one side, and of course we're using the bus to get there because I like the bus because it works and it's relatively cheap. Honestly, I don't know that we need that now. Oh, 2,735 delta V is too much. More than we need. 2,400 is probably too much. Frankly, 2 minutes 16 seconds is a really good burn, though. We're gonna back the throttle off on this. Actually, I want it to start at 1.15. For reference, Apollo mission started about 1.12 for liftoff thrusts, and they burn fuel fast enough that by the time the Apollo spacecraft cleared the tower, if they lost one of those 5 engines, the other 4 had enough power to propel the craft the rest of the way. It wouldn't crash. So that's how quickly they burn fuel. It really lifted off pretty slowly because it was so heavy, but that's going to work really well for us, actually. Need to make sure that's all together, so when we release the clamps, they all go together. So we'll just keep that open, and then we'll increase that thrust back to 100 because we got other things to control it. But we're going to go through the standard launch pad, standard launch profile. We're not going to mess with stuff too much. We have the usual upper stage that you guys are familiar with. I was going to add air brakes to it, but the last few times we've been using it, it's just been fine. So we'll just use it the way we've been using it. Okay. Descent guidance. Use that. We will go with a parking orbit of 80 kilometers. We'll use the extra fuel for getting to the Mun. We will limit our Q. We will limit our acceleration. And we are going to stop our auto stage at 3. Checking through all that. There won't be a harm in auto deploying antennas. There's no retractable solar panels to deploy. And we won't need RCS until we're in orbit, so climb. I think we can climb at 90 and then we'll turn to 0 at 100 meters. Okay, that should do. And I want the engine open so we can, I'll just increase the thrust as we get up there a little ways. Okay, so engage, autopilot, and off we go. So it should stay at this for 100 meters and then turn. Or is it at 100 meters of our turn? No, because we're well over 100 meters now. Guess it'll do it 100 meters into our turn, maybe? And I'm going to go ahead and increase the thrust now. Could be turning already. Oh my. Oh, that did go 100 meters pretty quickly there. Adjust that, look at that later. Just keeping an eye on our apoapsis now. We have ourselves a rendezvous target now. It did enable vessel tags. The stuff that's in our view range we'll be able to see. Ooh, I don't know if we got the fuel for that, bud. I think we did too much vertical on that one. We'll see. We'll see what we got here. We got almost 5 minutes of fuel, so. Just weight ratio's not amazing, but we are at essentially at vacuum thrust here. And we're not shallowing. We're on target, but we're gonna need a bunch of LPV to get to the mun. It is getting out of the atmosphere does require about half of the total delta V, if not more, of getting to the mun. But we'll probably need another 1,200 or so to get there. Need a few hundred more to get back. And of course we have to circularize. Yeah, that's not doing it, is it? Okay. Well, let's go back. Let's put those boosters back on. Put that extra fuel back on. Did I take 2 off or just 1? It was just the 1, huh? Okay, increase that throttle back to 100. Put the booster back on. I don't know that we need those massive ones though. 23 seconds. Goes up there, those go there. These are actually pretty dang strong. We want to turn the throttle down. We leave the pad at about the same 115 or so. That'll do 117. Minute 14 seconds. That's plenty. Put those back on there. Low as we can. All right. That should be plenty. Okay, attempt number 2. No shame in needing another attempt. So I'm gonna try to let that turn happen over the course of 500 meters. And then let's head over to our ascent path so that the turn starts at 2 kilometers, not 3.5. See if that helps us at all. Want is the Q value, dynamic pressure. I don't know where it is. Anyway, got another minute of fuel now. Maybe it's doing some mech jeb stuff. So info. Info. Atmosphere info. That's probably got it. Dynamic pressure. There we go. We had a maximum of 16.84. Oh, look how shallow that is. That's way too shallow, bud. Let's try that again. I don't know why I leaned over so hard. Okay, so we'll watch our dynamic pressure here. Judging by the last readout, doesn't look like we're going to get much over 16 or 17, which is way below what I've set for max. 20 kilopascals. Limit of acceleration to 25. All that is to do is to try and keep the ascent on track, but if it's too shallow, it won't help. Okay, that tried to turn it during 500 meters of vent. Oh, weird. Maybe limiting my AOA is what's causing that. Because it doesn't turn as hard at first, so it's trying to turn harder. And then at some point it misses. It's just trying to play catch up. But now it's trying to pitch up the whole time. So essentially the front end is too heavy and leaning the whole thing over. It doesn't have enough gimbal to adjust. It's shallowing again. Let's try that once more. How'd that work before? Because we had the same... Oh. Alright, use the thumpers. Because they burned longer. Right. Everything's a reason. Sometimes you need to just trust yourself that you did the right thing the first time. Okay. So, whipped off 117, that's fine. Minute 35. All that should be fine. Throw another tank in there if we need to, but that should be just fine. And I'm going to turn the AOA limit off for the early corrective steering. That's angle of attack limit. Early on, it shouldn't matter too much. We're not going fast enough to have a whole lot. At least that's my possible theory. I could be wrong. Guarantee we're gonna find out here in just a second. So a similar situation, these don't really burn a lot less longer, they just have a lot more thrust. I guess the thrust ended up being, thrust to weight ratio ended up being the same, so they do burn more consistently for longer. Now we might legitimately just be turning at too high of an altitude. I'm not going to adjust it right now. That's a much more easy to take roll. Now it's dead on the money. I think so. You see it's still shallowing a little bit here. Bye. Okay, so we're past max Q. We peaked at 1848 that time. Let's see how we do. We have 45 seconds left, 44 seconds of We're at an axis of 40. Let's go. I think we got it this time. May end up engaging that upper stage a little bit. Well, I may end up throwing another tank on this and running it again and turning those boosters up. Okay, there's 70. We got 10 seconds left. And 80-ish. Okay. Leave those to do the adjustment burn. We're just about getting heavy enough craft-wise to justify putting some automation in the first stage, giving it the ability to land, at least with parachutes. An actual powered landing is kind of tricky with something that long in this game, but an unpowered landing isn't so bad. Bye. So we'll circularize with this, and then we'll do our injection burn. Oops. Hello? There we go. The maneuver planner, though, we are going to transfer to target. Home and transfer. We'll start planning that once we get circularized here. Okay, I'm not going to use that for just a second, just to illustrate how this works. Do you see our orbit here, the blue one? There's a bunch of other stuff in orbit here, so kind of cluttered, but we can take our maneuver planner, or actually no, we'll make a maneuver node here. We'll do it manually, and we'll increase prograde out to the orbit of the Mun. See that? Pops up target position at closest approach. Now all we gotta do is move that around to meet those. Mun encounter. Nope. I'm staying at game. There we go. That'll do perfectly. So we just selected a prograde burn. We'll have it execute the next burn. It's probably going to be engaging pretty soon because it's a pretty long burn. $854 delta V, huh? I don't know why it thinks that burn takes so long. Oh, because I missed it, that's why. Hang on. We will reload to 4 minutes ago. 3 minutes ago. Smartest thing to do here, since that burn is so close to us, is to go for a parking orbit. Just ride the parking orbit for a one revolution, one orbit, and then do the burn. But you see the method there is you kind of just, oops, make a target, or you add a maneuver, you pull it prograde until it crosses the orbit of the target you want. Which presses the mun. Now you're gonna get all this stuff here, all this, and it's gonna look kind of intimidating. It's fine. Now, I am initially gonna just aim right at the dang thing. And we are going to cancel that because it thinks it needs more than I think it does. We're going to delete this. Oh, locked. I can do as I please. Like that. Now we're going to use the home and transfer thing. We're going to create a node at the optimum time. 856 delta V. Why does it say it's a 4-minute burn? Oh, there's only 856 delta V. Oh, I see. Because it thinks these two are one and the same. $1,931. There's still plenty. I don't know why it thinks it's going to take that long. Okay, there we go. Burn time. Minute 31. I guess it thought the little baby engine there was going to be helping. It's not. We're going to hit execute next node. Why are you doing that? Oh, it was too close. We're going to abort that. Abort that. Just dang it. We're going to reload again because we want to warp to it. We want to go around once more. Warp to it and then execute it. Even going to what we'll do, come to our ship here. Delete all the maneuvers. And then we'll create the node. That's fine. And there. I think we're going to be in good shape for that one. Aha, that's why. Okay. I had another maneuver planned. Once again, why did it do all that? I'm gonna reload that once more because I want it to not do any of that. We're gonna clear everything. Oh, it had a, okay, never mind. It had a flyby or a capture. We don't want to do that. I just want a injection. We'll adjust everything once we get pointed at the target. So we have a target. We're gonna remove all nodes. We're gonna just transfer. We're gonna review. Transfer. It did set up another. Trying to figure out why there are multiple things planned here. What? Enable that. Put that there. That looks pretty equatorial. We have plenty of fuel. We should be able to get on target. We'll see what this does. So the way what it looks like is when this burn is done, it's going to look like we're aimed straight at the moon, which is good. And then we are going to use our RCS to burn prograde just a little bit more. Actually, I think we'll burn a retrograde because this is a anti-clockwise orbit, which is not the usual way we do it with the Mun, but that's okay. You can see our orbit coming out there. I'll be able to adjust this pretty easily manually. Okay, that will do. So I'm going to turn on the RCS. Now just little baby RCS movements right there. There's going to be plenty. So we're going to undock that. And we want to prograde. Actually, we probably want to face retrograde right now. Just a minute. I'm using the engine here just to adjust this very slightly. When we get out there, what we'll do is we'll just slow ourselves down with a retrograde burn. and circularize. Just like that. Before we do that, that's a day and an hour away. We want to go back to our other ship here. We want to keep this thing kind of close. So, it'll burn very little bit baby burn here. Okay, so now it's not going to have any interaction with the mun whatsoever. That's 1 day, 1 hour, 39 minutes. And this thing is going to reach a periapsis in 1 day, 5 hours. So I'm going to make a circularize burn at the next periapsis. We'll leave that there. And we'll go back to our other craft. Alright, now all we need to do is fast forward to the SOI change, or sphere of influence change. We'll go ahead and make a quick save there. And up to that. And now we just want to complete our burn. That should be plenty close. We'll execute the next node. It'll warp till we're close. And maneuver to the maneuver node. And execute the burn. And of course, we have no freaking sunlight. We are gonna have some though. There we go. Little thing's wacky. Kinda love it. I don't want a time warp, I want a physics warp. Okay, reach the designated equatorial orbit around the moon with marginal deviation. We've done that. Maintain stability for 10 seconds. All we have to do. Oof. Get paid. Looks pretty good to me. Shut that down. I'm just going to orient this thing so that it's facing the sun as much as possible. Oh. There you go. We make it look silly with the doors open. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go. Now, we can transmit some science here. We need to be careful not to transmit too much. because it'll drag our battery down. Now we could observe our mystery goo. Transmit that. Have to wait for the battery to come back a little bit for that one. And we could conduct our materials study. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. That's many mitts. That's a lot. See if we can get that away. 32 mitts is crazy. That's a bunch. No, we'll save those. Take them on with a scientist on another ship. Anyway, back to our upper stage. Didn't need to do that, pal, but sure. So we're going to execute a circularization burn now, and then we'll deorbit. Get back to the planet. Kerbal Space Center is right about there. It looks like we're gonna have to deorbit. Somewhere over here. I think the last time we did this, we deorbited somewhere over the desert airfield. We only missed the Space Center by maybe 50 kilometers, so we're gonna try to deorbit. Why did that do that? It's gonna be pretty dang close anyway, so I guess we'll just ride it now. Oh, I was like, what are those things with their legs? And because we already slowed down, I'm pretty confident this is going to land us. Looks like we might land somewhere close to the desert airfield this time. Let's find out. Maybe we might be in the crater, actually. Somewhere near that. Page our parachutes before our probe core loses connectivity. We can stow our antenna too. Okay. So we're landing. For sure. Okay, yeah, it's closer to the crater than I thought. Well, all that's left to do is watch the thing. We're pretty confident that this is going to survive just fine because it has before, so why wouldn't it now? Which begs the question, Niall. How many times has this single upper stage been on missions? Because I haven't built many others. And it's been on several missions now. Done an admirable job, so if it works, why change it? It's pretty small, to be frank. Once we get to heavier stuff, it's way too small, but it works really good for this stuff. That please. I don't know why it started doing that. $80, $70, $50, $40. There we go. We'll call that a successful splashdown, I think. Alright, so we put a satellite in the equatorial orbit of the moon. Getting up there in money, so those parts are just the launch clamps retrieving. We need another $30,000 or so to upgrade the science center, or R&D. We need desperately. And we've got 4 Kerbals to rescue. So that seems like that's going to be the next mission or two, is start rescuing Kerbals. So we'll see you for that. And appreciate y'all watching. See you next time. Peace.